Hey guys, it's Sherri Summers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to have you because we are heading into a new season, a season of winning. And whenever we're heading into a season of winning, it takes us to know the tools and capitalize on those tools to get us ahead. Now, when I say tools and when I say systems, those are actually not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about mindset tools. I'm talking about mindset. Now, we're talking about how to break the poverty mindset to achieve your abundance and prosperity. Guys, that is so important right now. I am going to show you information that you can use to bring abundance and prosperity in your life. Now, who is this video for? This video is for anyone that is ready to receive their abundance, ready to receive prosperity, ready for a change. They're sick and tired of where things are, and they want to step out into a new world, a new view of life, and change the way things are in their life so they can receive their abundance. Now, abundance could be a better health. Abundance could be more money. Abundance could be a better job, a better business, better career. Abundance could be time with family. Whatever your abundance is, if this is you, then you are definitely in the right place. This video is not, and I repeat, is not for someone who is okay with where they are and okay with being mediocre. So we're going to be touching on some spots right now. I want to make sure that you are in the right place because I don't want to waste your time. Now, before we get started, guys, I know that you're probably viewing this on your cell phone or probably you're viewing this on your laptop. Wherever it may be, I ask you to please close down anything that is going to be distracted and now focus on what I'm getting ready to say. Because by the end of this video, you should know all the steps and tools and why all these things that may occur in your life has occurred and the things that you can do to move forward to make sure it doesn't continue to occur. Okay. To do that though, I ask you for a few minutes of your time and turn off all distractions. I guarantee you'll be glad you did. All right, so let me get started. Today, our topic, again, is about how to break the poverty mindset to achieve your abundance and prosperity. Breaking the poverty mindset. The objectives, very simple. Understand, acknowledge the poverty mindset. We have to understand why we have the poverty mindset. Where did this come from? Where did it stem from? And the reason for the poverty mindset exists. How to create a paradigm shift to change the poverty mindset. Rethink the way we approach success and create a supernatural thinking in abundance. These things are all the things you're going to learn today in this webinar. All right, let's get started because I'm excited to have you and have you here listening to what I have to say. Understanding the poverty mindset. Poverty mindset is a lack of understanding of the power. Guys, let me say it again. The power of your mind and the ability of what your mind can create. Understanding the power, that's the key word. We're going to break the poverty mindset, but before we can do that, we got to know how did it get contributed. Contributing to the poverty mindset are your environmental factors, your family, slavery, social and economical standards. Let's go back to environmental factors. Based on what we can see immediately around us, how things look, the places where we live, the location of where we live, the environment that we live in, can have a factor of our poverty mindset. The second thing is the family that we were raised in and what they learn about their finances and what they learn about their lives that they have embedded in us and move it to generation to generation. And now we are a part of that tribe that has taught us the wrong things about money, and we are doing the same thing to our family and our kids, right? Slavery, when the slave got freed, for whatever reason you're going to call that freed, the issue is they were free, but no one taught them about finances. No one taught them about the next. No one taught them about, okay, you can go, but what do you do now? Right? Social and economical standards, the way how we view things about where we live or what we think, how we think about the rich or how we think about wealthy people. Those are all factors that play into our breaking the poverty mindset. Now, the great thing is there's hope. Even though all these things had factors on us, we have a way to release that factor and become more positive. How does one with a rough past in history grow up successful? Now, the reason I know that there's hope is because there are people who are alive right now who is very successful and did not start off successful. There are people who are alive right now that has had issues in their past and was raised in social economical issues and was raised in even slavery times and was raised even having family issues and still move on to be successful. I don't have time to name all of them, but I remember example of what Oprah was saying about her grandmother told her, well, honey, watch me clean this house because I want you to be the best housekeeper you can be. As you and I both know, Oprah did not go up to be a housekeeper. She went on to be a multi-billionaire so that we don't have to worry about what our family has said. That's an example when I think of what Oprah said. Lisa Nichols, she is a phenomenal public speaker, and she went on to talk about how her son did not even have diapers, right? She didn't have the money to buy diapers for her young son. And she says, listen, son, Giovanni, mommy will never be this broke a day in her life again. And she changed that poverty mindset to make her where she is today. T.D. Jakes, before teaching at mega church, he was at a storefront, preaching, teaching every day. I can go on and on about that. And also Eric Thomas, he ate out a trash can. Now he's a great, phenomenal speaker. These are all people regular folks, human beings. Ellen DeGeneres, I could not go on. I can go on forever talking about these people. And they grow up to do extraordinary things. And so can you. So can you, and so will you. So will you. So these are all the people that have created a paradigm shift of their mind to create success and did not let their past life determine who they are today. So that gave me hope that if they did it, you can do it and I can do it. And this is how we get to it, guys. Supernatural thinking. Supernatural thinking. Yes, I get excited when I hear that because this is when the change starts to occur. If you want to change the fruit, you first have to change the root. If you want to change a fruit, you first have to change a root. If you want to change the visible, you first have to change the invisible. That is powerful quote to me, guys, because I know there are plenty of times that we have successful people want to achieve more, but the issue becomes they have not seen anyone around them close to them that they can touch in proximity that has received success. So they're struggling in trying to go somewhere where no one has been in their family. So they're struggling with that because they have never seen it. And this is why I think vision boards are so important, because if you never see it, you can create it and what it looks like, and you can form it from your imagination and your visualization. That's why it's so important to make sure you capture your vision board. And I can go on and on about that because you make your invisible visible, right? So that's why I love this quote, and that's why it stands out to me. Now, when we talk about supernatural thinking, there are 4 quadrants of your supernatural thinking. They are your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual, and last but your physical. Let me say it again. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. They're up there on the board. You can see for yourself. Now, most importantly of these 4, the 3 that is so important to me is mindset, emotion, and spiritual. Mindset, emotional, and spiritual. Here's why, guys. Think of a copy paper, right? I'm writing some paperwork, right? And I'm writing in Word, my Word document, and I've been making some errors. I printed out with my printer in my office and realized there was errors on the paper. For me to correct this error, I have to go back into my program and erase the work or correct the work, because that's the only way to correct the error is to go back into my CRM or go back into my program on my Word document and change it. I cannot change it once it's physically printed out. So once it's physically printed out, that paper is physically printed out, I cannot erase any errors that has occurred. I can have a whiteout, but under the whiteout, the error is still there. Why is that so important? Why did I use that analogy? Because it's the same thing with our physical. Everything around us that is physical is a result from something. Everything is a result from something. It's a result from your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual, right? Think of somebody who think that they may be overweight, right? of the physical look of being overweight has nothing to do with the physical. It has something to do with the mental, the emotional, and spiritual. You didn't wake up, or I didn't wake up saying, okay, we got to lose weight, right? That started with not paying attention and not conditioning our mental ability, our emotional ability, our spiritual ability, eating habits, and all that mental eating habits and emotional habits that we have formed, right? And let it get out of hand. That is the same thing when it comes to our finances. All our finances is a cause, and a cause from something, and our bank account is an effect of that cause. So when you're dealing with something, do understand when you're dealing with something, that things that have caused in your life, it's not necessarily physically from you. So when you look at a bank account and you say, it needs to be more, it needs to have more digits behind it, it needs to be more. Do understand that it comes from way back of what we look at, how back what I just said, the cause of all the things that have happened, how we were raised, the way our family raised us, and the way things happen. Now we're heading to a generation where we know more, we read more, we understand more. So all those things have stemmed from our mental or spiritual and emotional cause, and our physical is just the effect of those cause. Our physical is just the effect of those cause. So guys, listen to me. Money is just a result. Money is just a result of things that have happened emotionally, physically, or spiritually. And that's across the board for money, our health, our illness, our wealth. All those things are results, right? The effect of our spirituality, our emotional, and our mental, right? All those things of how we feel, we did it. How we emotionally feel, we did it. What mental state of mind, we did it. And doing something caused us to be in the predicament that we are. So many of those things, guys, is not necessarily our fault. It's some things that we were raised in. However, God be the glory, we can change the way we think about things to bring us abundance and prosperity. We can change that way of thinking to break the poverty mindset. All right. Now, lack of money is never, ever a problem. Sherri, what are you talking about? Lack of money is never, ever a problem. Lack of money is just a symptoms of what is going on underneath. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me tell you something. Think about Black Friday. We're buying up all this stuff that we may need or may not necessarily need, or may not even bring us an investment. But in our mind, we feel like we need it. Then a few weeks later, we have to pay bills. So we didn't mentally or emotionally put our perspective of our priorities in order first before we buy things that we don't necessarily need, or we buy things but yet we have a credit card that need to be paid off, right? So we can get out of debt, so we can use that extra funds after we pay off that credit card to bring up our wealth, plain and simple. But because of things that have embedded in us in our past, and it has contributed to us, we have constantly keep revolving, doing the same thing over and over and again and getting the same results. However, if we change our ship, and the lack of money is just, and realize the lack of money is just an effect of what is the root of the cause. The lack of money is just the effect of what is the root of the cause. Guys, this is good already. I'm just getting excited just talking about it because it's good. It's like I'm talking to myself. It is good already, guys. Let me tell you something. Supernatural thinking is powerful. It is very, very powerful. I also want you to understand, guys, before we even go any further, that many of the things that have happened to us, as I said, is not necessarily our issue, but we can't dwell on that. We can move on now that we are aware of what's going on. The only way to change our physical world is to change our inner world, right? So that if you haven't got that already, only way to change our outer world is to change our physical world. So we have to change the inside, what we pour into ourselves. We have to change our mindset, our spirituality, our emotions. That means doing things that we wouldn't necessarily do. Because when a warrior go to battle, right? When an Olympian or a champs, when they go to battle, they condition, they train, they go into action plan, they move things, they have years. Think of a boxer getting ready to fight, months and days and hours and weeks up on working out and conditioning their mind, conditioning their body. You know, boxers sometimes don't even participate in stuff. I don't know if it was before they fight, because they have to be mentally ready for that fight. That is the same way, guys. Your business, your home, your lifestyle is a fight. To create that freedom lifestyle that you make you want to have time for your family and time for your kids, which is one of the things I'm on a mission to have. It's a fight day in and day out. And you have to condition your mind to have a healthy mind and move when your emotions don't even want to move. You have to have a healthy mind to move forward. So, and how that start is from the inner. Move when you don't want to move. Emotional thinking, positive thinking. And we're going to get more into that. Now, if things aren't going well in your outer life, it's not going well in your inner life. And it's that simple. I could have stopped the webinar right there. If things are not going well in your outer life, it's not going well in your inner life. It's that simple, because your inner life is your outer life is a reflection of your inner life. So you first have to change the things that you're thinking and doing inside before you can get the results of your abundance and your prosperity. Where did the inner life come from? We just said it: through slavery, through poverty, through economical factors, through things that was not our control, but we don't have to use that as a crutch. We can move forward. Now, how do we move forward? Right. We first have to create some declaration. I talk about going into battle. And before you go into battle, you have to condition, you have to train. This is where the training part, guys, we are in training season. We are in training. I do believe that wherever you are right now, if you're listening to this webinar, you're listening because you're in training season. Should you choose to accept it, right? Like Charlie, should you choose to accept it, you're in training season. And when you're done training, when you're done, it will be worth the investment, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be worth the investment. Now, how do we get started on our training? In case you want to really, really want to take charge of this, is to create declaration. Some people call it affirmation. Create declaration to say to yourself, my inner world create my outer world. Say it with me. My inner world create my outer world. Say it louder because I just can't hear you. My inner world create my outer world. What do I mean by that? I just said it. What you pour into yourself. What are you around watching The Housewife of Atlanta? Are you watching, what's that movie called? Walking Dead. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Mr. Walking Dead. I was binging for a while on Walking Dead. Are you listening to things that is not going to move you forward and not going to keep you forward? Because the longer you do those things, and it's only few hours in a day, guys. So what you spend your time with has to be improving you or investing in you to give you a return on your investment, because it's only a short time in a day. So my inner world create my outer world. I have a millionaire mind. You got to touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. I have a millionaire mind. But right before I was doing this webinar, my camera came on and I'm talking to myself. She said, Sherri, you are great. You're a woman of God. You're powerful. You have to talk to yourself, because if you don't, there's plenty of people out there that will do it for you. So you have to make sure the voice you hear is a voice that's going to move you forward. So you got to create declaration, affirmation. My inner world create my outer world. Let me say it again. My inner world create my outer world. And knowing that your inner world creates your outer world, you know that there are things in life that you have to pour into yourself and do, no matter how you're emotionally feeling, no matter how you're mentally feeling. You still got to move forward, because if you can breathe and you're physical to get it done, you need to get done. You cannot rely on how you're negative, anything negative mentally or anything emotionally negative to stop you from growing. So you got to move when you don't want to move, when you don't feel emotionally that you want to move, right? Those are just a few things of changing that mindset. Next thing, create a money blueprint and how it's formed, because I can sit here and do the declaration all day, but action plan has to be taken. Money blueprint and how it's formed. Give me 5 minutes and I can predict your financial future for the rest of your life. Let me say it again. Give me 5 minutes and I can predict your financial future for the rest of your life. What do you mean, Sherri? Thank you for asking. Because your money blueprint this here is how it's formed. It's start with your feelings, right? And your feelings lead to your actions, and then your action leads to your result. So it's lead to your feelings. Your feelings say, I don't feel like doing this today, so I'm not going to do it. I don't feel like I want to, call this client today. I have 25 people to call and I don't feel like calling them today. But the 23rd person is the person that's going to give you that 6 figure, but you didn't feel like calling today. I don't feel like, finding somebody to do my website today. So I'm just going to leave. I don't feel like making that logo today. I don't feel like doing that blueprint today, but you want a business that is flourishing. So if you don't feel like it, there's no action behind you, then there's no result, because your feelings keep us bondage. And we already said these feelings and these emotions stem from our past. So we got to undo this. So we cannot allow our feelings of not moving forward to stop us. Okay. Now your money blueprint, here's how it is formed. And we kind of touch on that a little bit. Your thoughts. Your feelings comes from your thoughts. What are you thinking? What are you doing? What are you reading? What are you watching? What music are you playing? All those things affect your feelings. All those things affect your emotions. And based on those, let me tell you something. When you're talking to a client and you just seal a deal and the deal is good and they say, yes, I'm ready to do the work, your feelings get moving. You're ready to go. But let me tell you something. When someone call you with some drama that you don't want to be a part of, it ruins your whole feeling for the day. You do not want to act. And that separates a successful entrepreneur from a person who's stuck. Because whether or not that argument happened, you got to keep moving forward because you got work to do. There's work to do in the village, right? There's work to do in the valley so you can get to the mountaintop, right? So your thoughts and how you affect it. So you got to make sure what you tell yourself. What are you telling yourself in the morning time? What declaration, what affirmation are you telling yourself? What vision are you placing out there for yourself? Because your mind can only go where you tell your mind to go. So if you're going to tell your mind to be great, if you're going to tell your mind that you have a millionaire mind, if you're going to tell your mind you want to make an income while making an impact, you're going to have to start feeding your thoughts, feeding your mind with things, and so your emotion and your thoughts can line up. So you got to tell yourself your verbal programming. So your verbal programming leads to your thoughts, and then your thoughts lead to your feelings leads to your action. So the one on top is just what negative thoughts there. But when you change your programming, your verbal programming of what you tell yourself, I was telling myself, I am great. I'm here to help others impact the world. I'm here to help other mompreneurs create a freedom lifestyle where they can create their schedule to have time for their family all at the same time. I am telling myself that I can do it. I am a mother. I would not have to change my lifestyle to make anything happen. My job is to nourish my family and my business at the same time and create a schedule that I can have time for my son. That is a verbal programming that I tell myself. I am great. I am helping others change the world. I am helping one person at a time. I'm helping women become 6-figure to millionaires. I am doing that. That is what I'm telling myself every day. Day in and day out. I'm waking up early whether or not I want to, because there's a reason for me to get up early, because it will pay off in the end. What I'm putting inside will be a physical result on the outside if I keep going day in and day out, guys. And I hope you're getting this because I'm really feeling it. Verbal programming, and after your verbal programming is your thoughts, and then your thoughts lead to your feelings. So if you can control your verbal programming, you can control your thoughts. And if you control your thoughts turn into your feelings turn into your action that push you forward to get the result that you need. So where's your abundance and prosperity lies? How do you change a poverty mindset? What are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself that you're capable of? What are you telling yourself that you're able to achieve? How do you talk to yourself? Are you telling yourself what your family used to tell you? Are you telling yourself something that you can change, that you want to believe, right? If you go to the bank account and you don't like how it looks, it's time to change that. If you go to somewhere and you don't like how it looks, it's time to change that. So start telling yourself some verbal things. Say to yourself, what did you hear when you were younger? What did you see when you were younger? What did you experience when you're younger? Your money blueprint is formed from that, right? When we were younger, our family tell us, money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. Save your money, it's rainy day. Rich people are evil. Rich people are criminal. Filthy rich. You have to work hard. Those are all things that was said to me when I was growing up. So I know some of you guys are listening today. Some of it was said to you. And we believe that. We believe money. Last time I checked, money is paper. Paper came from trees. So we got to change the way how we look at wealth. We got to change the way how we look at abundance and prosperity. Let's break this down, guys. Your abundance is not just about money. Your abundance is about having enough. Having enough to where you can go on vacation with your family. Have enough to where you can determine your schedule when you wake up in the morning. Have enough is that you're not running from bill collectors. Have enough is your mortgage is paid on time. Having enough is being able to spend time with your community and volunteer your child's school. Having enough is being able to tell your child, yes, I'm going to make it to that recital. Having enough is not worried that you have to sacrifice your job and time with your child at the same time. That's what abundance and prosperity. We're not talking about being, over the above. We're talking about having enough to where you are not worrying about your health. You're not worrying about your wealth. You're not worrying about your finances. Having enough is for you and your child to take a vacation without having to put on a credit card. Having enough is using your credit card healthy for emergency purposes. That's what having enough means. That's what having an extra business means. Not a job, but an extra business. Having a job where you can go into your career and go to the top of your career. And then in the top of your career, you're getting paid more for your brilliance. You're monetizing your brilliance, which is what my company teach. Monetizing on your brilliance, that when you go to the top, you're excelling at a high rate. You have enough money now to take time out to have that great vacation for your family. That's what abundance and prosperity is, guys. We're not talking about we're going over this and we're greedy. We're not talking about that. We're talking about creating the lifestyle that you want to see and the legacy that you want to leave for your family. That's what it is. But it starts with a verbal programming that you tell yourself. I hope this is good, guys, because this is good for me. Now, where does the struggle comes in? Here's where the struggle comes in. I said to you before, our past is what help us hindrance based on what our grandparents and grandparents and grandparents and grandparents before that have suffered and have endured. And now they're poured on us, right? Some people call it the black plague of finances, the black plague of how we look at money, of wealth, of success, So, and what get it is when people like myself has the clues and have the answers to help you move forward, because we found it and we're sharing it and we're giving it away. But here's what happened. When the subconscious mind must choose between deep rooted emotions and logic, emotions always win. When the subconscious mind must choose between deeply rooted emotions and logic, emotions always win. What I mean by that, I can tell you all day, you're great. Guys, my clients, I can go to an event and I can watch a client, someone right now, and I would look at that person and say, man, this person just need a little tweeting and she would be unstoppable. But even though I think that, and even though I have the answer to give to her, I cannot do a good sales or do a good strategy on her to convince her mind that she has the capability of winning. Because what stopped her is I'm telling her what I see in her, and she just needs a little tweak. But in her head, she's saying, nope, my mama never did it. My dad never did it. My bank account can't afford it. So I'm not going to do it. That's what she's telling herself. So when we get to the part of this is how much it costs, it's kind of like, oh, I don't have it, but I got to pay for that next thing that's not even going to bring her an investment. So I cannot, that's one of those fights that I will not fight because it's not my fight. Either you want it or you don't. Either you pay to play or you don't. Right? So when you're coming to your emotions, when it's coming to your deep rooted emotions, our goal is to unroot. That's why in my Unlimited Success Academy, the first thing we talk about is abundance mindset. Breaking the poverty mindset. That's why we talk about that first. Because when you're deep rooted in emotions, it's hard for you to move forward, to achieve what you need to achieve, especially when no one has around you looks like it. So you have to create that hero. You have to create that person that is going to be envisioned to say, that's that person. I'm getting there. I'm creating this person, regardless if mommy never did it, daddy never did it, grandma never did it. That is why it's so important that your deep rooted emotions get to the point where you can rely on logics and supernatural thinking. Logic. If I do this, if I affirm this, if I declare this, if I speak into myself, if I create vision boards, if I speak to the right people, if I take action, I will, not must, not maybe, I will achieve this. And it's logic. It's logic, right? And how we know it's logic? Because Think and Grow Rich, one of the most successful book, one of the most wonderful mindset book in the world has showed us when we think positive, right? Positive. Now, I talk about Napoleon all the time because when we think positive, we get our results. Think about Napoleon. Napoleon is successful only because he followed and attracted himself to successful people, and he followed their work, because successful people leave clues. Successful people leave clues. And all he did was surround himself with successful people, and he wrote about the same thing that successful people, the like things that they do, and he wrote about that, and he became a best-selling author, and a guy that was very, very successful financially, emotionally, physically. But so that's what he did. Went around, and I have another webinar on all about this, which I'll bring up in a few days. But he went around and interviewed other successful people. And for the record, they weren't as successful then, right? One person he interviewed at the time, the guy was fixing a car. And he was like, why would my supervisor, my boss, tell me to interview this guy? Because he's covered in grease and he's dirty and he's fixing a truck. For the record, it was Henry Ford. Do I say anything else? It was Henry Ford that Napoleon at that time was interviewing. He was not the Henry Ford he is today. Of course, God bless his soul. But the point I'm trying to make, his boss, for the record, he wasn't even getting paid by the boss, but you got to see the webinar for that. But his boss told him to interview Henry Ford, because the boss knew successful people know other successful people. Honey, when I'm looking for a coach and I'm sitting in the room, the coach already said, listen, I want to coach with you because you're an easy coach, right? So because successful people can identify other successful people up and coming, or identify the next successful person they want to attach themselves to them. So what I'm saying to you is, when the subconscious mind must choose between deeply rooted emotion, logic, emotions always win. So you got to find your way for your emotions not to win, right? Steps for change. Yes, I'm excited because there is hope and there is change. And if it wasn't change, we wouldn't even have this webinar. And my goal is to teach you that there's change. Now, how do we change? Digging out this massive, toxic weed from inner financial garden, and rooting and undo new knowledge, new education for profit attraction seeds and bearing better fruits. Let me say this. The deep rooted toxic things that we've learned, we have to really, really dig them out. Right? We have to create a better financial garden. So all the things about money doesn't grow on trees, all the things about how we feel about wealthy people, rich people, all those things, we have to literally undo that. We have to take all that out, and we undo all those and create new knowledge and new education on profit attraction seeds and knowledge and education and better fruit to better gardens. Now, how do we do that, Sherri? Well, here's how you go. And I hope you're really taking notes. And I hope you're writing this down, because this is where it gets really good. This is where it gets really good. Now, what do you do? What I had to do, and what I had to tell my clients to do, who have also been successful, is creating your awareness. Your awareness of what is, or your awareness of what isn't. So your awareness, right? Your awareness of, when things happen, you have an awareness. Oh, okay, this is not of me. I'm talking negative. This is not me. I'm talking bad about somebody. This is not me. I'm gossiping. This is not me. I'm spending too much time on the TV instead of working on my business. That is not me. I'm waking up too late. That is not me. So your awareness, you're aware that this is not what I should be doing, because it doesn't line up with the results I want out of life. So now that you're aware of it, then you create an understanding. You create an understanding. Okay, I'm aware that this is happening because, right? I'm aware that my finance is not where it's supposed to be. I'm aware that I'm not disciplined with my money, because this has been rooted from past stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was birthed out my mother's womb. I came into this world and I had this issue based on my social and economical factors, based on slavery, based on all these things that happened to me. I understand why they happened. Now that I understand, because once you understand, you're accountable, right? There's a difference when you don't know better. One of the hardest things for me to deal with people is when their eyes are open to new, and when their eyes are open to better, and they know why, and they don't use it to their advantage, right? I can accept someone who don't know better. I can accept someone who never seen better. I can accept certain people. Once you have been taught, and which you're on this webinar, so you're now taught. Once you have been taught and understand why things are, and yet you still haven't taken action, there's nothing anyone can do for you. Right? So now that you understand why things happen and why things occur, you now have to disassociate yourself from it for a change. You have to disassociate yourself. So if it's a friend who is negative Nancy, if a friend who is Debbie Downer, you have to disassociate yourself from that person because it doesn't line up from where you're going. So disassociating yourself from that situation will create a paradigm shift like no other. You hear me? So now, so you can recondition your mind to create a paradigm shift. So those 4 steps for verbal programming, you have to create this up. But there are times when there are times when that person, I think, jumped in my mind and I want to say something negative about that person. And I have to stop myself because that person may be a reflection of my blessing. And I cannot have that person stop me from my blessing. So, they say pray for your enemies. You pray for your enemies. So you create an awareness, you understand, and you disassociate yourself, and you create a paradigm shift. Those 4 things, make sure you write down, guys, because those are the secret to breaking the poverty mindset to get your abundance. Those 4 things are amazing. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes constantly being aware, constantly being understanding, constantly disassociation, constantly. At some point, guys, it's going to seem like you're all by yourself. And that's okay, because here's the thing. When you're doing entrepreneurship, your family member, everyone around you don't understand it because they don't know. So how can you go to people, ask them questions about things a journey they've never taken? So you got to make sure when you're asking questions and you want to move forward in your life, you're asking it to people who already have achieved it. Okay. So you can know the right or wrong that they did, so you can change your learning curve. Next thing, we got to, again, another exercise, your declaration, or some people call it affirmation. What I heard about money isn't necessarily true. Right? I choose to adopt a new way of thinking that support my happiness and success. What I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I choose to adopt a new way of thinking to support my happiness and success. I am a millionaire mind. I am a millionaire mind. I am a millionaire mind. And when I say millionaire mind means millionaire mind in money. Yes, unapologetically. Millionaire mind in millionaire health. Millionaire mind in abundance. Millionaire mind is creating your own freedom lifestyle. That's what I mean by millionaire mind. Right? So many of the times, if you show me your lifestyle, you have adopted your parents' blueprint. You have adopted the way your parents did money, or where your parents handle money, right? They're okay with letting a credit card go or whatever. Again, going back to what they have endured. It's not their fault either. This is just the society we're raised in. Or you may have a parent curse where the money's up, one day the money's done. Most of the time, real estate investors, their money's up, and then one day the money's done. It's called a yo-yo success. So, and the child go under the parent and have that same yo-yo success. Okay. And if that's you, go ahead and hashtag me, tweet yo-yo success. And, so I can know that you're reading this and you're really getting something out of this. Right. Money Blueprint, hashtag Money Blueprint, my Facebook page, Instagram Live, because I want to make sure, guys, that you're really getting something out of this, because I'm excited. Because when I knew why I was stuck and what create my change and what I need to do, those 4 steps of what I need to do to change it, the awareness, the understanding, this association from it, and paradigm shift. When I understand that, it changed the trajectory of my life. It changed my bank account, and I hope it will yours. Now, steps for change. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if your blueprint is not set up for success, you will be financially doomed. You can have all the knowledge in the world and your blueprint is not set up for success, you will be financially doomed. What do I mean by that? Many times I think of doctors. I think of doctors who have a great degree. They're doctors, but yet they're broke, right? Yet they're so broke because their degrees has left them in loans, in student loans, and things that they can't afford, right? They're trying to keep up with the Joneses. They can't afford these things, or and they may be going to law school. Anyone who has a successful college degree, because I have a master's degree in management, and your blueprint is not set up for success, you will be financially doomed. So they have the knowledge, but they have not implement the blueprint of money. They have not be disciplined. They have not create a financial plan. They have not sat down with a significant other and create the next step in their life. And that has made them doomed for success, because having knowledge doesn't make you have an abundance and prosperity. Having knowledge is great, but if applied knowledge is what you need to have. Applied knowledge, you have to apply the knowledge of finances, of creating a budget, making sure you're not going over your plans. That's applied knowledge is what will do it for you. Now, what is the current money and success blueprint, and what result is it subconsciously moving forward? What current blueprint and success blueprint do you have for your family? What do you have? We're getting into a new season. What successful blueprint do you have for your family? What does a successful blueprint look for you? Like, what are you doing right now to create? We're going into a new season. What are you doing? What blueprint are you writing down? Are you paying attention to your finances? I know people hate budgeting. I do too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate budgeting. However, it goes back to our mental, emotional, and spiritual factors. So now that I know me hating budgeting is not of me, right? That's just something stand back because I'm afraid of it, right? So when I knew that, I caught it. I am aware of it. I understand why it happened. Right? And I disassociate myself from it and say, I must do my budget because I want to create a freedom lifestyle. And to create a freedom lifestyle, I need to have a budget. So that's exactly what I started doing, is creating a financial budget. And I started working on the lowest thing in my credit card. And whatever that thing is, I created a snowball effect, which came from Dave Ramsey. Started paying a small bill, pay that off. And then after that, I paid the next bill. So I had more money now to invest into my business and invest into my growth and my coaching to lead me forward, right? So many times when people say, I don't have the money to do something. Yes, you do. You're just not being disciplined in your money to create room for more money to invest into different things. Now, are you set up for success or mediocre or financial failure? Are you working hard for money or set for working in balance? Now, the question I'm going to ask you again, are you set up for success? You're going into a new season. Are you set up for success, or are you just set up for financial failure? You can set up yourself for success. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm going to be very, very personal with y'all for a little bit. Ooh, y'all got me. Got to take a little sip. Let me say this. One of the hardest things is to be in a location and be in a situation where you can't get out because you got yourself stuck in it. One of the hardest things is to be in a situation and be in a location where you set yourself up for the situation and you cause the situation. And we talk about why the cause. We said that already. It's not your fault, not my fault, but you can't get out. I learned not to ever allow something or a job or a person to keep me bounded to where I'm stuck with that thing or with that person. And I have to do it. I have to do it, especially if the thing is not good for me. Especially if I go to work and I'm crying in the parking lot because I hate this job and the mental negativity that comes with it. Or I hate this relationship, but I can't get out because I can't financially get out. I don't know who this is for, but I'm talking to you, right? I knew or know that only way for change to occur, I had to change it, right? Logically change it. Create logical steps for that change. That means watching where my money go, watching where I spend my money on so I can have logical change, that I can create results I want to see. My result, again, is having a freedom lifestyle. My challenge for you is to create things in your life so when it's time for you to move, you move and it doesn't stop you or hinder you. If there's something in your life that is not moving you forward, whether it's a job, whether it's a home, I'm not telling you to go leave your job right now, because you use what's in your hands so you can level up to get to where you want to be. But if you create a plan a plan that you have consistently planned out for your next move, you can, if that's your plan. But there are times that I just have to, I really have to let you know that you have the freedom to move. You have the freedom to break that poverty mindset. You have the freedom to do it. It's in your hands. It's not a rocket scientist. It's what you put in your mental, emotional, and spiritual, what you verbally tell yourself to do, it will do. Now, you move slowly so you can see the results. Slowly mean paying off certain things, that's bills, that small bills that's in your life so you can create room for financial freedom. You know, so once whoever have your mind have you. So if you're not happy at a thing, or you're thinking about a job, or you're thinking about a relationship that you're not happy or something, and you can't move forward because of that, create a plan. Don't quit on it right now, but create that next step and create verbal programming in your mind that is going to help you move forward. Create different things. I'd rather make small sacrifices for long-term goals. So I would have sacrificed going out to eat and pouring into a coach, or pouring into a thing that's going to move me forward. The only way to permanently change the temperature in my room is to reset the thermostat. In the same way, the only way to change your level of financial success is permanently reset your financial thermostat, right? The only way to change the permanent changing in your room in the room is to reset the thermostat, right? I remember I paid $100 for this guy to come and change the thermostat in my home, because I couldn't, it was going up, it was going down, it was up, and I didn't understand it. So I had to pay an expert. Okay. I had to pay an expert to come in and tell me what I was doing wrong. And apparently I had the temperature set all sorts of way. And I said, but God, I had to pay somebody who was understanding my situation to let me out of the situation. And as he taught me what I was doing wrong, and taught me how the dynamics of the thermostat work, believe it or not, right? And then I had it set 6 a.m. I'm supposed to be hot heat. And I'm in Florida, so there's no way I need heat at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that much heat in Florida, right? So, but I had to pay an expert to come in and teach me what I was doing wrong, because my AC was off balance. And I paid $100 for that day to be able to do that. That is the exact, because you have to pay to play, right? So it's in the same way, the only way to change your level of financial success is for permanent reset your thermostat, your financial thermostat. And you have to observe your thoughts and entertain only powerful that empower you. Observe your thoughts and entertain only things that empower you. You have to, again, tell yourself, I have a millionaire mind. I have a millionaire mind. I will be a millionaire. You have to tell yourself these things. Who else is going to do it for you? Who else is going to tell you? You know, you have to literally tell yourself that. I pour into my young child about being positive and speaking positive, and people constantly tell me now how much he is pouring into them because of the things I declare and hear me say. He will do his meditation because he saw mommy meditating. So I want the same freedom lifestyle that I have created for myself. I want it for you, because it's possible. Why is it possible? Because it's possible for me, and I'm doing it, so it's possible for you. All right. Steps to change your verbal programming. Here are some clues. Again, we talk about clues that successful entrepreneurs do. They act in spite of fear. They act in spite of fear. They do not let their bank account determine their next move. I've listened to a young lady speak, and she is a copywriter, web designer. And she says, based on her clientele, she has a low-end client, and then she has her six-figure, and she has a millionaire. And she says, I can guarantee you the way a six-figure think and the way a client think is totally completely different. She said her six-figure people think certain ways when it comes to money, and her low-end people think a different way. It's amazing that she caught on to that, because I think the exact same way. Act in spite of fear. We allow fear to stop us from keeping from bondage. We invest in things that's going to give us quick result or microwave result, and it doesn't last, even if you do get the result. Instead of having happy and abundant, sustainable abundance, right? And even people who have got rich and successful lead to drugs and alcohol, because they did not have the spirit of their spiritual and mental emotions was not lined up. And they didn't know how to verbally program themselves to think a certain way. And this is exactly what I'm telling you. You're heading there, but let's head there the right way. Act in spite of doubt. Act in spite of worry. Act in spite of inconvenience. Act in spite of discomfort. Act when you're not even in the mood. I have to put that out there, guys, because not being in the mood doesn't stop you from moving. When you're not in the mood and you move, that's even greater, right? That's even amazing, because the result from not moving, that's called discipline. That is called discipline. When you're not in the mood to do something, but you still do it. That's called discipline. I have clients that I meet with at 8:30 p.m. my time, in Florida time, Eastern Standard Time. And there are times when I just put my son to sleep, and I'm like, okay, I want to go to sleep too. but I cannot because I want to see my clients win. So I have to act regardless of how my mood is. I have to get up, get ready to go pour into my client so she can succeed or he can succeed. All right. Now, what you focus on expands. I cannot say that enough. If you focus on profit attraction, expands. Y'all, I have been in this journey in trying to find challenging coaches, because your coach should have a coach, right? So when I'm looking for my higher coaching, my challenge is find a coach that can challenge me, because usually I end up knowing a little bit more than the coach, or know, so that becomes my challenge, because I research so much that sometimes I go too much in expanding. But when I do, my result is phenomenal. And I want the same thing for you guys. If you're on the sound of my voice, you're watching this webinar, I want the same thing for you. So when you expand and you focus on making, keeping, and investing your money, like we talk about, and I'm not a financial coach, but I know everything you deal around you when it comes to business, deal with finances. And the same discipline you have in your personal life is the same discipline you bring to your business life if it's not fixed in your personal life. So when you're heading into your new season of climbing the mountaintops to be at the top, these are all things you first have to fix, right? How do you do that? Well, you do that by becoming addicted to continuous learning. You do that by becoming addicted to continuous learning. I'm always reading books. I'm always investing in workshops. And as I said, I've always hired a success coach. So I'm telling you to do the same thing. Read books, invest in workshops that in things that you want to learn, and invest in hire a success coach. I want you to do that, because when you do that and you invest in these things and you understand your verbal programming and you understand why the poverty mindset is the way it is, you have a better understanding of what's next so you can get your results. Now, as I said before, you have to be ready to move forward. You now know why the poverty mindset occur. You now know what you need to do when how you should be aware of it. And you already know the 4 things you should do when that thought come up. You already know that going into it's not your fault. You know that the verbal programming after your verbal programming, it starts with it start with your feelings, and then after your feelings lead to your action, and your action lead to your results. So if you're telling yourself, I'm tired today, I don't feel like making that call, guess what? You don't feel like you're tired, and you're not going to make that call, and you're going to lose out on that money that you're supposed to have. However, reading books and investing in workshops and hiring a coach, that will help motivate you. My group, Unlimited Success Academy, are go-getter women that are surrounding themselves with going in a direction of winning direction. So when one person feel like, oh, I don't feel like doing it today, our next person will come in and pick them up and says, hey, where are you stuck? Let me see where I can help you out. That's what it's all about. Surround yourself with get it friends. I call it get it friends. That when you don't feel like pushing today, they're winning, and their winning motivate you to win. And then they're coming to you, giving you positive affirmation to push you forward. And that's what you need in your life today, guys. You need a positive affirmation. You need to surround yourself. Successful people attract successful people. So how do you do that? You start reading your books. Get on Amazon, reading your books. You start investing in workshops, and you hired a coach. Now, after viewing this slide, your decoration, what will you change today? What will you change today after you viewing this slide? Tell me one thing that you changed today after you've been viewing this slide. I hope that after viewing this slide, you take the necessary steps that you need to be successful, right? I'm going to leave you with 2 choices. You can either continue what you're doing, or you can do 1 or 2 things. You can click on the link below, right? And book a call with me today to see how we can continue this journey of breaking the poverty mindset so you can reach your abundance principle, right? Don't have to call. I'm good. But if you're serious about going to the next level, if you're serious about going to the mountain, if you're serious about you're tired of the way things are and you're ready for a change, don't do it by yourself. Change your learning curve. Click the link below to give me a call. It's a free call, a free clarity call, right? That's what it is, clarity call. And we'll see if we are both fit for each other, because I want to work with people who are ready to work with me, and I don't have time to waste, and you don't have time to waste. So take advantage of this free clarity call. It's 45 minutes, 45. That's enough time. Enough time. Take advantage of this free clarity call. If you have someone on there that need to make the decision with you, go ahead and give them that free clarity call. I hope, guys, you took the information and you went on this information. Space is limited because I only take five per month. 5 per month. Quicker than 5 calls. That's how I take my 5 per month. All right. So go ahead, book a call with me and we'll move on. But I hope after viewing this slide, you clear that what thing that you would change today. All right. It's Sherri Summers, guys. Make sure you join me in all social media network, which is LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or my YouTube channel, Sherri Summers. It was great hanging out with you guys today. And I do believe that you are created for greatness. Click the link now so we can get started and get ready for you to soar.